So I am currently in therapy, and the reason I've decided to seek out therapy is because I am living in a state of PTSD. One of the things that I've become very familiar with when it comes to myself is that not only do I hold grudges, but I require answers about things. And the reason that this is so big to me is because I feel as though if you seek to make changes from, past behaviors and actions and stuff like that, then the least you can do is first acknowledge them, right? And I believe this is what everyone knows as the first step to recovery, is acknowledging. Because if you don't acknowledge it, you can't change it. You are not seeing the thing that needs to be changed. And if you don't do that, you will continue with, that same behavior or whatever. Like, that's just common sense. So in therapy, my angle is I'm there for myself to address, or maybe to offer some background to the trauma. But ultimately, I feel like I have sought so much therapy on my own, just as a person, as an individual, and trying to get in touch with who I am and why I'm a certain way and whatever. But what I've realized is that in order for me to really get over a lot of these barriers, I need the other people in my life to be a part of these sessions as well. The battle here is that there's a lot of blame game. And I believe that this happens in a lot of relationships. And I'm talking about all types of relationships. Like me, for example, this is regarding my parents. This is regarding me being a mom. So it's regarding my oldest daughter, who is at an age where she's able, to be a lot more comprehensive about things that I'm discussing with her. And then my relationship with my husband, I need them to be a part of these sessions in order for me to be able to heal, to at least start the healing process. Because whether or not they admit to certain things, acknowledge certain things, or if they decide that these are complete untruths and whatever, then I have to then make a decision about how I'm going to move forward. And I believe that one of the expectations that people have when you are in therapy is, you got to work on yourself. It's all about, you, and, they try to nix all of these other aspects of your life and just make it seem like it's really just about you. But the fact of the matter is that a lot of people are in therapy due to relationships that they've had with other people. And so, yes, it is about you, but to put it in perspective, you become who you are. You learn the things that you learn due to your relationships and your encounters with other people. And those are the things that ultimately shape you. These are the things that gives you whatever insight you believe you have to yourself, to how people outside of you handle themselves and things like that. It is important to tackle problems that you have or concerns that you have as it pertains to your dealings with people. And so this message today is really just about making sure that you are being intentional in your confrontations and not being confrontational with your intentions. And what I mean by that is, have a goal in mind when you are seeking out to, handle things, to confront things. Confronting things has a negative connotation because it typically has aggression behind it. And then aggression tends to be a negative thing because people mistake what is passion as being mean. There are calm ways to handle things, but we are all not the same. So we can't expect that everything is going to be handled the same. So, again, just be intentional in your confrontations. Make sure you're going into it with a real goal in mind, like something that is actually attainable, not something that is so self-serving that you become dead set on other people being responsible for the roles that they've played in your lives and then in your life, and then you end up negating the role that you play in your own life, and in allowing certain things and people to remain there to further give you whatever these experiences were that traumatized you to begin with. So I know this is a lot of information, but these past almost 3 years coming out of the pandemic, dealing with the pandemic, going through the pandemic, has really exposed a lot of stuff about a lot of people, within a lot of people, and seeking therapy right now is definitely something that people is cleaving to because it's hard to even get an appointment at this rate. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that something as healthy as this has a weight, because that means that people are really starting to take into account that they may actually live an unhealthy mental and emotional life. And if you are not healthy in those states, then by default, it's going to affect your physical. So do whatever it is that you need to do with the intention of being the best possible you. Just make sure those things happen. Take care of yourself, but make sure you're taking care of other people as well. And not living your life trying to banish people for things that they've done, because the same help that you are seeking is the same help that they likely need and are maybe just afraid to seek. And then also, don't be afraid to let relationships go. And I'm talking about with your kids, I'm talking about with your spouse, with your family, with your friends, because we really become obligated to people based on their title or their role in our lives, and we end up really tied down and burdened because of what someone's title is in our life. You can only do but so much, and when it's all said and done, you really and truly only have one life to live, and that's your life. Everybody else has to be held accountable for their own. So that is my message for the day. There's a message somewhere in there for all different types of people, and hopefully you receive it. So y'all be blessed.